One thing I enjoyed about the movies back then was the camera quality. Like this, all the stuff from nowadays, how it's shot and how it's filmed. To me, in my opinion, it just seems like it's too realistic. So it dilutes the enjoyment that you're getting out of it. I think they should have kept the camera quality the same too. Like the camera quality from the nostalgic stuff is just there's a distinction between real life and that. Like it's not too clear and it's not too realistic. So it gives it that distinct look. It adds that nostalgic factor. And I said this before, but if I was able to make a movie nowadays, I would use the quality from the old movies. I wouldn't make it too realistic looking, like the 4K and all of that. That just dilutes it to me. And I like how free flowing the movies was back then as well. Nowadays, I feel like they just do too much. There's too many Easter eggs and think pieces with these new movies. I feel like they be trying too hard, and it comes off as forced. I mean, back then there was still hidden Easter eggs and stuff like in the movies and the animation films, but they didn't overdo it. Nowadays, I feel like they just overdo the Easter egg stuff and make it complicated, and it makes this new stuff hard to even watch. It's just way too much stuff going on in these new movies. Like all they need is just a simple plot to the movie, like the ones from back then where you didn't have to think too much. I feel like nowadays you really have to think too much watching this stuff because there's so much going on, so many storylines, so many Easter eggs and hidden messages they're trying to do. They're trying to make it too complex. I miss how simple the movies was back then. It just felt in the moment. It just felt more organic. They didn't make it too overcomplicated. It was a simple plot. And as I mentioned before, the camera quality wasn't too realistic. So it adds that nostalgic tone to it. He said, "What's up, Vision? What's happening?" Just chilling, bro. I'm just talking about movies and all of that. Just nostalgic movies from back then. And just why I like the old movies better than the new movies. But yeah, I just feel like the old movies, the nostalgic movies from back then were just more simple to understand. It was a simple plot. The characters played their role. It was just simple. It was just free flowing. You can just watch it without it feeling like a chore. When I try to watch this new stuff, it just feels like a chore. It's way too much to grasp. They're just doing too much with these storylines and all of that. They're trying to add all of these different think pieces and They just be doing too much. He said Undisputed 1 through 3 was gas, entertainment feels, and is recycled. He said especially with the remakes as well. Facts. And I think technology is playing a major role in it because they always want to advance everything. And what they don't realize is some things are good as it is, as original. But with technology and all this AI stuff, it just makes stuff more unnatural because they want to update everything every second, bro. Like certain things are just meant to be how it is, original. I mentioned this before as well in one of my past streams, but it's like it's the same thing if you look at a tree. A tree is just a tree. It's natural, it's organic, and it's a tree's just gonna be a tree. But it's like with technology and how everything is, they'll want to update a tree. So they'll get a replica of a tree, they'll design it a certain way, upgrade it. Like, no, just keep it as a tree. And it's the same thing I feel with like entertainment. Like certain things should just be how it is. Like the camera quality should have stayed how it was, not too realistic to where it feels like it's in 4K. It just dilutes the quality. Like they should have just kept certain things the same. I feel like they just want to update and advance everything too much. And that just seems unnatural to just humanity. Like we're not robots. We don't need everything to be advanced every 5 seconds because it's going to keep diluting it and keep adding different things and removing different things. He said technology is taking the genuine quality out of life and people's society. You can see facts. There's just way too much advancements with this stuff. Certain things should just stay original and how it's always been. But speaking on nostalgic movies, one of them that I'm watching now is Rush Hour 2. That's one of my favorites. He said I got a news clip on my phone talking about how grocery prices are stressing people out because of inflation. You're wearing the right as fuck. Yeah, bro, it's too much going on. It's just like the flow of things nowadays are just inorganic, bro. Just how everything is. It all just feels forced, formulaic. Like when I'm watching this movie right now, Rush Hour 2, it's on mute. Because when I'm on live, I be watching stuff on mute so that audio doesn't like interject with the live stream and all of that. But just me reflecting on it, it's just so free flowing to watch it. Like I mentioned before, it doesn't seem forced. It's just easy to watch. You could just sit back and watch it without having to think too much. They don't even make movies like this no more where you could just chill and watch it. He said, I like the Rush Hour with that giant dude and how he beat Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. That's the third one. My favorite is the second one, I can't lie. The second one is my favorite. I love Rush Hour 2. He said, oh, Marvel and DC movies before 2020 was fire as well. I'm not going to say I was big into those movies, but a couple of them that I like, these might not even be Marvel, but this is just in that. These are just like superhero movies that I watched. The ones that I like, it's like a few. I like the old X-Men movies. Those were fair. I like the old Hulk movie from like I think it was like 2003, the first Hulk, the original one. That was the only one I like. It's the one when he was fighting against all them dogs, them like mutant. It was like mutant dogs that he was fighting, and he was like going against the army and all of that, the tanks. I like the original Hulk. I like the original Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire. Them is the only ones I like. Animation movies were fire too. I like Toy Story, Shrek, Shark Tale. It's just so many of those. It's way too many to name. But they had stuff on lock back then. They had Madagascar. Like they don't even make movies like that. I'm so glad I had my childhood, man. Like they was really dropping classics like that back to back. Toy Story. You don't get nothing like that nowadays. And if you do, like I mentioned, like I said, if you do end up getting something like that nowadays, the quality is gonna be too realistic. So it's gonna strip the nostalgic factor out of it. There's gonna be too many Easter eggs. It's gonna make you have to think too much. It's gonna be trash. You said Fantastic Four from 2005 was the goated version. Yeah, that's the one I like too. The original one. Anytime they make a remake of a movie nowadays, it's like a parody version. Like you look at it as a parody, like a joke. I ain't even see the 2015 or the 2025 one. I would never take the time to watch those because you just know it's trash. He said especially old kid movies were so nostalgic and made me smile and feel good. He said I don't feel that a lot nowadays. Yeah, bro, because it's they just diluted everything. We had movies like Home Alone, Matilda, Bridge to Terabithia. It's like movies like that really gave you a feeling back then, like Home Alone. Because I remember having like the tape version of it and just like seeing the tape. I can't even explain it, but it just gave you a feeling. Just mm, I think it was because it was like tangible back then. Like now it's just digitalized, so you don't really get a feel for it. But back then it was just tangible, so you could look at the like disc or you could look at the like tape, whatever you had. If you had the tape version of a movie or whatever, it would have like the cover art, the packaging. Like I just remember how that stuff made me feel. I can only imagine if we had stuff like that nowadays. Everything was just more natural. I don't know what they did in these past couple of years, but the flow of things is just off. I don't even know if there's anything they could do to fix it or to take it back to how it was. It might just be over. Yeah, I rock with Shrek too. Shrek is a classic. Like those movies just gave you a feeling. Like the soundtrack of those movies, the graphics. He said even TV shows, cartoons, video games from back then were top notch. And the graphics weren't the best, but the stories and gameplay gave you that feeling. Yeah, but I think what we didn't realize back then was that the graphics not being realistic was a good thing. Because back then we would see the graphics and we would be like, "Oh, this isn't that up to par or whatever." Or you would probably be wishing for a futuristic version of it, like with better graphics. But nowadays, people are realizing that the graphics is diluting it. We didn't realize that graphics not being too realistic is what made it nostalgic. Like that was the good part about it, because it gave you that clear distinction between reality in a video game, reality in a movie. Like I'm using this stuff as a tool to escape reality, not be entrenched in reality. And most of this stuff nowadays is the quality is too realistic, so you're not really getting a distinction from reality in that. So it's hard to even enjoy it, find enjoyment within it. Like the video games even had that archaic feel to it because it wasn't too realistic. These video games, especially on PS5, for like you're playing a video game and watching a movie at the same time. Yeah, I'm seeing people talking about the new 2K is like trash. I seen Illuminati speaking about it. Like I haven't played like 2K and all of that, or just the game in general in so long. But when I did play 2K, my favorite one was 2K13. That's the best 2K in my opinion. The soundtrack was fair, the graphics were fair, it wasn't too realistic. It was free flowing, like you could just, man, the dunks were crazy. Whenever I did play these new games, it just didn't feel right. It felt just too hyper realistic. I like the shot meter on the old 2K, the 2K13. Shot meter was more simple. He said Child's Play was a hit too, part 1 and 2 and 3. As soon as they came with that brighter Chucky, I was like, nah. He said, but the game, back then we're better than facts. He said 2K13 was the shit, bro. Facts. I don't really be hearing people mention 2K13. They be mentioning 17, this, and I'm like, what? I'm like, I guess I might be the only one who rock with 2K13 crazy like this, but that shit was a time. You would even get together with your friends and play that. And cover art was even lit. And the music, like I mentioned before, the soundtrack was crazy. They had all of the lights on the soundtrack. Like, it was just fire. But yeah, as far as you was talking about Child's Play, bro, I rock with one. I don't really rock with the first one that crazy. I rock with the second one, Child's Play 2. And I didn't really like it before until like recent years, but I start rocking with the third one a lot too. The third one is kind of fair. But Child's Play 2 gotta be my favorite out of them all. They made the Seed of Chucky and the Bride of Chucky. The Seed of Chucky is like nostalgic to me. Like I was watching those movies growing up, so they might have impacted me different. Bride of Chucky, you said it was kind of trash. I think you said you was like, nah, I can't lie. I kind of like the Bride of Chucky because it might just be the nostalgic factor. I don't know, but I just grew up on those movies so much. That and the Seed of Chucky I grew up on, so they just hit different to me. He said Friday the 13th. The first two were good, but when they continued, it became terrible, unbearable to watch. Yeah, Friday the 13th was fair. The old ones. I remember Jason X too. A lot of people might not like that, but like once again, I grew up on that movie. I grew up on Jason X. That movie was fair. And Freddy versus Jason. That might be corny. That movie might be corny to a lot of people, but once again, I grew up on it. Freddy versus Jason is just, it was just that movie, man. He said, you see the first Predator movie when in 1999? I think so. I'm not sure. But yeah, the early 2000s was just different. Any movie that's from like the early 2000s, like 2000 through like 2004, was just peak. Adam Sandler, Adam Sandler and what's his name? Adam Sandler and Ben Stiller had stuff on lock during those times. They had so many movies in that time period. I was just watching Waterboy earlier. Waterboy's a classic. Like Adam Sandler got so many classics. So do Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller had a lot. Jim Carrey too. Jim Carrey was carrying stuff back then too. No pun intended. He had Bruce Almighty. I grew up on that movie. Man. He sent me myself in that ring. I gotta tap into that. I wasn't really put up to that one. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that. But he had so many hits. He had The Mask. You remember The Mask? That was a hit. Like they was really going crazy back then, bro. They was making classic after classic like it was nothing. Like if you was born in those years or before that time, you're really lucky. They was just dropping back to back heat. He said, Jim Carrey. He said, yep, Dumb and Dumber, yep. The first Dumb and Dumber is classic. I don't know about the second one. This movie might have been over the top. This movie was over the top and all of that, but I can't lie. Superbad was a classic too. I gotta give that an honorable mention. Superbad was classic. It's still funny till this day. Like you can let. Superbad was the shit. A lot of the movies still hold up to this day. You can turn them on and still enjoy them or still laugh at them. I rock with Money Talks too. Money Talks with Chris Tucker. Martin Lawrence had a lot of movies too. Like it was so many people dropping heat. But now when I look at nowadays, it's like who's even dropping stuff on that level? They're just dropping out of super intricate stuff that's too deep to even think about. And yeah, the early 2000s was just the peak for me. Even the movies back then, I wasn't even so high quality or high budgeted, but still fair. It could have been like a low tier type of movie, but it's still it back then. I remember the new guy. The new guy was fair. I'm gonna see if they got that on YouTube. I might watch that later or after this stream. He said waist deep. So he said YouTube is free, 10 out of 10. Yeah, I think I seen that movie growing up, but I just don't really remember it. I'll have to tap back in with that one as well. Yeah, I think the early 2000s was the peak of movies. There was a lot from way back then, but I'm gonna just say anything from the 2000s and before that was the peak. Because there was some 90s movies. Like they had Bad Boys. Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. I remember The Sandlot, the baseball movie. That was fair. I grew up on that. Mrs. Doubtfire. I guess way too many to name. It's way too many to name. Yeah, The Goonies. The Goonies is from like the 80s, but it's still a fire movie. Coming to America with Eddie Murphy, that's from like the 80s as well, I think. He said, I know you don't like anime, but even though anime was fire as well. Yeah, I wasn't tapped in with it, but I'm sure. Man, it was so much to even name. I wish I was more present in them years. I wish I would have been more reflective in those years to like really see things for what they was and just like, because we didn't know how things would turn out years down the line. We didn't know it would get this bad. Like, I wish during those times I was just more reflective and more just, I don't even know, just more observant. He said XXX State of Union. I grew up on that movie, Triple X. I remember that movie, Three Strikes. I can name these movies for days. Are we there yet? We really had it good. He said, I'm watching Life of Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy. Bro, Life is a classic. There's so many funny scenes in that movie. He said Kick Ass 1 and 2. I like the first one. I don't even think I've seen the second one. But the first one's goated. The first Kick Ass is classic. To me, in my opinion. Like I don't really think we realized how good we had it. So that's the only regret I have back then. Like I should have just been more observant, present, realizing what I had in that moment, and realizing that I'm never gonna get this again. I'm never gonna get this level of entertainment again. Don't like, but we can't tell the future, so I can't really blame myself because nobody could tell the future how it was gonna be. But we really didn't realize how good we had it. Because if I would have known things would have got like this years down the line, I would have really. Well, I can't even say that neither because I enjoyed that stuff when I had it. I enjoyed it to the max to the point where I just kept replaying it. I kept rewatching the movies. That stuff would never get old back then, so you was able to just keep rewatching it. You would rewatch the same movies because they were that fair. Even on Fridays, we had Friday next, Friday after next. All of those is classic. You'll never get a movie like that nowadays. That's just a feel good movie, people chilling. I like Lottery Ticket too with Bow Wow. Bow Wow has some classic movies like Mike, Roll Bounce. I remember ATL with Ti. Like we really had it good, man. Oh my, we really had it good. Like, I be craving that nostalgia so much to the point where I be trying to mentally put myself in those back in those times. That would really be fair though if you could mentally go back to them days like time travel, like a time machine, bro. I would go back in an instant just to feel like the energy, like I would take everything that I grasp from now, like reflecting back, and I would just go back to them times and immerse myself in the moment. Like I would really enjoy it 100 times more. I truly realized how good we had it, but you could only realize that from going through it and experiencing it. So like having a time machine would be crazy because you would really go back to them times knowing that in your mind, like this is once in a lifetime. So you would really just enjoy the moment of it. He said Norbit, bro. Kate was so fine. I don't care what no one say. Norbit was one of my favorite characters in that movie. Bro, Norbit is a classic. Norbit was a classic for sure. He said lottery ticket. Bro, lottery ticket was funny as shit. Swear, bro, that was my movie. That was one of my favorites. It was lottery ticket. That movie Love Don't Cost a Thing with Nick Cannon. Like it's no way it's unlimited movies that we could just name that were that fair back then, but you can't name not one today. You could go from naming unlimited fair movies from back then, but you can't name one from today. That fall off got to be studied in history books. Cause it's no way. It's no way. It is no way the fall off was that crazy with just entertainment and just everything in general. Oh yeah, I remember Scary Movie too. Scary Movie's a classic with the Wayne's brothers. I used to watch that movie so many times, just back to back. The Wayans brothers had a lot of classics too. They had White Chicks. I got so many memories with. Like I remember coming from town and watching that movie White Chicks. Just like these memories, they give you just a certain feeling, bro, that just can't be matched. Cause you just remember those times, how it felt, how nostalgic it was. I really be wishing I could go back just mentally. Like at least give me one more chance in that timeline to just enjoy it. Like I wish it could have stayed like that. Yeah, we really had it good. I remember standing at friends' houses, watching movies, eating snacks. We watched like scary stuff at those times. That was like the thing to do. You watch like a scary movie. Used to watch them old Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. Those movies hit. Like the early 2000s Texas Chainsaw movies hit. It was just crazy. Said Charlie and Angels Food. No, that was a good movie. I don't think I seen that one. I only seen the first Charlie's Angels. That's a classic. I never seen the second one though. Yeah, man, we had it so good back then. And I feel like mentally I am still stuck in that time period. And I would really give up all of this to get that same feeling back. Same nostalgic feeling from back then. It said Fight Club. Yeah, I heard of that. I wasn't on that, but I heard about it a lot. A lot of people mention that movie. Like I said, I can mention movies for days. I'll be here all night till the morning mentioning movies. There's just no way that things change like this. And I be watching like some of the trailers from the new movies from now. He said Spad Kids, bro. Nah, you're goaded for mentioning that, bro. You're goaded for mentioning Spad Kids. Bro, Spad Kids was fire. The racing scene was so lit. Nah, that's just nostalgic. I'm glad you brought that up. You said what's up, Vision and Smack? I know, bro. What's good? Not only Spad Kids, I'm gonna name one. I'm gonna name a series. I know you remember Harry Potter. Them Harry Potter movies were fair. But yeah, I be watching like certain trailers for movies nowadays. And like I said, the trailers even be confusing. Like it's too much. It be too overcomplicated. Like you don't even know the plot of the movie. It's just too much going on. They be having like 5 different storylines at once. The movie will go from like being a comedy to a horror movie. Like they don't know what they be trying to do. It'd be too overcomplicated. Like just give me something that's easy to watch. Give me a easy watch movie. A kickback. Give me like a comedy movie. Like something chill. They be making it so overcomplicated. 5 different storylines. A million different hidden Easter eggs. Back then they had Easter eggs in the movies, but it was subtle. Like it wasn't heavily dependent on those Easter eggs. It was so free flowing that you didn't even realize there was Easter eggs in it because how just free flowing it was back then. But nowadays it's like they lean on that. They lean on Easter eggs and think pieces and all these different hidden meanings behind the movie. Like we want something that's just easy for us to watch, to just kick back. But that's how it feels watching this new stuff. Like it feels like it's a chore. It's a chore just watching it. There's so much to grasp and catch up on. He said Scooby. Nah, bro, you're goaded. You're goaded, gang. He said Scooby Doo. Oh my god. Bro, I love the Scooby Doo movie from the early 2000s. That movie was so fair. I grew up on that, bro. Even the Scooby Doo, what were they? They were like the Scooby Doo gummies. Even those were fair. They don't make those no more, but they used to have the little Scooby Doo gummies. I remember the Cat in the Hat movie. I grew up on that too. The Cat in the Hat movie was fair growing up. I'm about to search that up real quick. The Cat. Mhm. He said, I remember that. He said, the first Bad Kids movies has hidden meaning in there too. Yeah, but it wasn't too overbearing. Like I said, they had a lot of hidden meanings back then, but the movie was so fair that it was subtle. You could still enjoy the movie still. It was from 2003. That's like just about a year of this movie. You know it's goated. 2003. You know, if any movie dropped in 2003, it was most likely going to be fair. Yo, it was good. HD Self Made was good, bro. But yeah, I made this live with you and man, bro, because I seen you had mentioned a comment, and I couldn't respond to it because there's complications with my device and all that. But I seen your comment on my recent stream when you was like, you said you enjoy the streams where I speak on nostalgics, like just nostalgia in general. He said, Blade, nah, bro, you're goaded. You're goaded for that. Blade was fair. Wesley Snipes. I grew up on that movie too. I remember Hellboy. I like the first Hellboy though. I like this other one. I remember Spawn too. Y'all remember Spawn? Spawn was fair. He said I just got that. Just finished watching one of my most nostalgic movies called Kicks. That movie was goated. I never seen that. Surprisingly, I never seen it. I can name so many. I can name so many nostalgic movies right now. Some that people even might have forgot about. I remember Wrong Turn, Hills Have Eyes. What was that one movie called? Hold on. It was like a zombie movie. Hold on. I think it was called like Dawn of the Dead. Was it out of there? Yeah, I think it was called Dawn of the Dead. Hold on. Yeah, I think that's the one. He said it's the part two. He said it came out 2016. You should watch it. It would resonate. Yeah, I'm gonna have to tap in, but I ain't gonna lie. It'd be kind of tough for me to like resonate or watch stuff from like this era. Any movie that's past like 2014 or 2013, it's hard for me to get into it. Yeah, Resident Evil. He said all those was a banger. And it doesn't necessarily have to do with like the plot or any of that. I mean, that plays a major part, but like it just be how the movie's shot. I mentioned this before you got on the stream, but it's like just how these new movies are shot. Like the camera quality, it'd be too realistic. He said, "I'm glad you went live about this topic. I fuck with the vibe. Yeah, no problem, bro. But yeah, when I drop the full stream, you'll get what I'm talking about because I mentioned all of this earlier. Like how if the camera quality in the movie's so realistic, it dilutes the nostalgic factor in it because you're not really even getting a distinction from the movie in real life because it's so realistic." He said Underworld was fair. What else can I name? Hold on. I'm trying to name something that people won't even be thinking of. There's just so many. Oh yeah, Little Rascals. I remember Problem Child. The Final Destination movies are fair. There's just no way, bro. How did movies fall off this bad, bro? It's no way. He said I hated the last Final Destination movie, but the one so yeah. Yeah, I didn't even watch the new one because I already know it's like they're gonna update it. It's gonna be like any movie from this time period. I don't even bother for the most part because you already know what you're gonna get. It's gonna be trash. But the old ones were all fair. I even remember the Final Destination with the 3D glasses. It was like in 3D. I don't even think they do that stuff. Like, do they even do that anymore? But back then, they would give you the 3D glasses and all that. You said it's a movie based on a kid in the hood getting his shoes stolen by a grown man, then getting them back. Said first one, so yeah, right. He said the movie quality brought me back to 2016 era. That was my time. I mean, I'll try to attempt to get into this new stuff, but It's just not up to par, man. I remember the first, not the first, but I remember Karate Kid with Jaden Smith. I seen that at the movies. I vividly remember that. It was like 2010. I remember this movie called Never Back Down. That movie's fair. It's not like really mainstream, I don't think, but if you get a chance, one of y'all can look up Never Back Down. It's a good movie. It's like a fighting movie. It's from 2008. He said, I remember the movie. Yeah, that's like a classic. He said, I'm waiting for the new Avengers, the Wednesday movie to come out next year. He said, I can't wait for the new Doctor Strange 3 movie. It's Phase 6 I'm seeing. He said, I remember that movie. Yeah, I don't know how people can watch this new stuff. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I just can't get into it. That's just me. He said, "Oh, Never Back Down was the shit too." Oh, y'all know about it? Yeah, that movie's a hit. I didn't think y'all was gonna know about that one. Yeah, I grew up watching that. It's a good movie. I remember the Gridiron Gang with The Rock. That was a fire movie. Nah, but you gotta be joking right now. He said I'm watching Never Back Down right now. So was you watching it before this stream, or are you watching it because I mentioned it? Because if you're watching that, just that's crazy. If you was already watching it and I just mentioned it. He said Blood and Bone and Undisputed. Yeah, I seen those. But that'll be crazy. It's crazy that you're watching that right now. Oh, I was about to say, he said, nah, it's from you mentioning it. I was about to say, that would be trippy. Too trippy, like, damn, what? But yeah, bro, these movies are just try hards now. Like if I could make a movie or have input on a movie, I would make the quality of the movie like an early 2000s movie. I wouldn't make the quality so clear. I would make it just like the old movies. So just imagine that. Imagine seeing a movie nowadays and it has the quality of like the 2000 movies. Like that's what I would do if I was these people. I would keep the same quality. I wouldn't make it so overly complicated so people can just enjoy the movie. Like I barely see that nowadays. I barely see just simple chill movies, like a simple chill funny movie with not too much going on. They got to add all of these different meanings. They got to switch the plot 40 different times. Like I recently just watched this trailer of this movie, and it's like five different movies at once. Like from just watching the trailer, you don't even know what these movies are about because I'd be confused. Like shouldn't the trailer be shouldn't this be clarifying me to the movie? Like shouldn't I be clarified from watching the trailer? Like give me the synopsis of the movie. I should know the synopsis. I should know it from the trailer, but it's like the trailer leaves you confused. Like I recently watched this trailer and it's like five different movies at once. It's like it started off as like a sports comedy and then it went to dark, then it went to a horror movie. Like, or they just be having too much going on. And I already know it's gonna have like different hitting meanings. Like nobody wants to go through mental gymnastics watching a movie, my nigga. Like just make the movie simple, chill, kickback. Make a chill kickback flick with like two homies, comedy, not too much to think about. They don't do that no more. I barely see movies like that. He said, "LOL, they be having some Godzilla versus King Kong." So they just do too much. They just overdo it. He said, "I don't like the quality they use. They make it too much about the graphics. Swear, they make it too hyper realistic, which defeats the purpose of it being entertainment because it's like I'm already living in reality. I'm already in the real world. Everything's already HD, 4K. So it defeats the purpose when I'm watching a movie that's realistic and it's 4K. Like this is supposed to be an escape from reality, a movie or entertainment, whatever it is. But they make it hyper realistic, so it defeats the purpose of it. Like if I wanted to see 4K, I could just open my eyes and observe the world around me. Like I'm already in 4K. Why would I want to watch a movie with the same quality? Like it shouldn't be hyper realistic. That's what makes it entertaining because it's not realistic. It's not hyper realistic. Like I wish I could have a conversation. I wish I could have a conversation with these filmmakers, man. Like, these people need to listen to us or something. They got to start hearing people out. This is getting ridiculous. They can't make a good movie nowadays to save their life. All of these film production studios, like they can't make a good movie to save their life. They need to have me in one in the boardrooms. Like have me in one of them boardroom meetings, and I guarantee it'll be a classic. He said, man, even my lowest quality dreams far better and make sense more than these movies. Facts. Like, bro, I'm already dealing with this reality that I live in. I want to escape this reality. Give me something nostalgic. Give me something that's a clear distinction between entertainment and reality. Like, give me an escape. I don't want to be right back into reality when I'm trying to be entertained. It's like they're more focused on the graphics than the quality. They're more focused on the graphics than making a good movie. This entertainment is just cooked, bro. If they don't start taking heed and listening to people like us, they're gonna be cooked. Well, they're already cooked beyond measure. I can't remember the last time I seen a movie that was from this era that was like fair. I can't name one, which is a shame. He said, "Have you seen Hustle and Heat?" No, I haven't even seen that. But the crazy part about it is that we can name these classic movies for days from back then. It's so many that some of them we don't even know about. That shows you how many it was. It was so many fire movies back then that some of them we don't even know about. It was just that many. Yeah, I just be reflecting back on those times, just trying to recapture those feelings and those moments as much as I can.